Welcome to Focus Garage. Ander is here. I'm with Brad. We're in his garage and we're gonna continue working on the Saab 9 Fi Aero Package. That's right, we named this car and that's gonna be the name for the car forever. And if you ever do this swap ever again, you gotta use that name. So what are we doing, Brad, today?
All right, so yesterday we finished up all the engine mounts, and I think that should be on the last video. So today we're going to pull the, this is like the bad engine that we used for all the test fitting. We're gonna pull that out, and then we're going to prep the other engine, the three things we mentioned in the last video: oil leak, hydraulic clutch, and 9000 intake rail. We're gonna prep that engine, get it ready, and then transfer the brackets that we welded onto the new engine after we sort of trim them a little bit, grind them, clean them, yeah, and do the final welding on them. After that, it should be as easy as connecting up. We borrowed the fuel tank out of the extra other parts 900. This was like a good running car that had lots of problems, which made it a perfect donor for this.
It had pretty good goodies in it, like the...
It really did.
Yeah.
It had the big end clutch, which was the same thing I bought to put in the 900 SE, the donor for this guy. It had the hydraulic clutch conversion with the pedal. The hydraulic pedal was a major upgrade for the 94 to 98s. They had a cable clutch.
Which is fine, but it's not as good as the hydraulic one.
The long term, the cables will stretch, and you'll start hearing like a chirping noise in the transmission where it's not fully disengaging and sort of just touching the clutch. It's pretty obnoxious. It happened to me a couple times. You know, the fix is you just reach in and grab it, whatever.
So yeah, but in this video, we are going to start the engine in the Fiero, the Saab engine. I know some people think that this project is not happening, but it is happening, and it is possible. If you have the will to do it, you can complete the project. And today's, at least for the next couple of days that we're going to be working here, the goal is to get this engine running inside this Fiero. And it should be pretty basic because the T5 ECU on these only need 12 volt. It's pretty self-adjusting, and it doesn't really need much sensor going on from the...
Right, so I've actually done this swap once before, but not into a Fiero. The classic Saab 900s, which is my previous race car that's under the tarp over there, that retired itself last year. That's a major upgrade for those cars. So this is a car that has sort of a distributor with a sort of a boost retard timing and open loop fueling, and it runs like shit. And then you melt down a couple pistons, and you know, you keep replacing engines. I did that swap though. So there's a guy, I'll call him out, Jordan Pagano, really smart guy out east that machines these flywheels to add the crank position sensor on it, and that's all it takes. Everything else just plugs in, and you take a car from the mid 90s and add on an ignition system to a car that's, you know, that was designed in the 80s with all... Basically, it's only an upgrade to a CIS Bosch system, which is also junk.
It's a junk. But because of that, how complete the system is by itself, we would be able to start this car up without major issue. And we already disabled the security stuff and all that stuff, so we don't really...
There's no. That's the beauty of the T5, which is why we didn't use a new generation 9.3. I'm very familiar with those engines. They are really good. But they require a lot of security systems. You know, the key matched to the ECU to like the ICM.
It's good stuff for the daily, but it's not good stuff for the racing.
It's great stuff if you live in Sweden and the Eastern Europeans are constantly trying to steal your cars and getting them to some Slava country.
But anyway.
Anyhow, so yeah, 12 volts to the ECU, and then you know, a momentary 12 volts to the starter. And then, you know, the T5 system does it all by itself. It's the Trionic 5s, the system Saab developed in the early 90s, 90s.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today, and come with me and I'll show you guys what we accomplished, I guess, today's work and tomorrow's work, and then hopefully later on we will be able to start this car up.
Yeah, hopefully Anders' videos get closer together.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been working our normal jobs, and then we've been trying to do this, and yeah, and coronavirus happened.
Despite coronavirus, it has been a very busy year
Yeah,
still.
so that's the reason. But we're moving here. We're moving pretty fast. So, all right, let's go work. We installed a 9000 intake. We had to modify the oil drain,
Tube?
oil tube, where you check the oil fill tube. That's what it is.
Got it.
It's too late. I'm sorry, can't think right now. So we did put the 9000 fuel rail in there, and then reclocked the pressure regulator towards this way, and install the wiring loom over here. We still do need to install the idle control over here. It's gonna go this side. We just need to extend the wires. There is a spot for it on the 9000 throttle right here, and then goes underneath there. So right now Brad is undoing the bolt for the transmission. We're gonna drop that and then put the hydraulic clutch, and then we did fix the oil leak on it. That's about it. We still have to kind of figure out the
the eBay seller gave us a pretty beat up throttle body there. And we stripped half the stuff, including plugs that are fitted to it. So
yeah. So and also we need to figure out the intake temperature. How are we gonna wire that?
We'll probably just when we put a boot on here, we'll just have a aluminum elbow to wherever, and we'll just have to put a little...
Or we can just put a bolt there and just tighten it. That's how I do it with the nut there to tighten it, and then we'll seal up on the intake. We'll think about that.
We'll need a tube and a pad, like weld some thickness onto it, and then drill and tap it to the whatever.
You're gonna put a silicone though, right? Well, we can
silicone
discuss
elbow
that.
and then an aluminum next to it.
But anyway,
Anywho.
yep.
You gonna tell
All
him?
right. So we installed he helped us. We installed the engine, hooked up all the wires. Don't look at that mess. We will clean that up. We run the 5 wires that we needed, grounds and the voltage that's coming from the ECU to the engine for the injector controllers, and so we're gonna start up. First time ever. But before we start up, I want to say this very clearly so you guys can all hear it. This project will never run. So there you go. We got the engine running, so all we have to do is
Every fucking day.
everything else. Run the vacuum lines, run the coolant, run the fuel line, and that's it actually. That's all we have to do. And the wiring. So we are going to, another thing I want to show you guys is that We are going to use we're gonna put a hole in it. ECU is gonna go over here, so all this wire do make sense over here, and then we're gonna go back into the car from the middle of the car right here for the other gauges. But yeah, we are home stretch. This was the biggest issue that we had in this part of the journey to get this car running, and it wasn't that bad. Just 5 wires.
There's just a little small oil to take care of.
But yeah, what do you think?
So now that it runs, now we just have to go through every single system. So that's you know, the brake booster needs the vacuum ram. We need to hook up coolant. We need to make sure the radiator's fine and not just totally trashed on this car.
Yeah, the fuel tank is the other big step.
We actually stole the fuel tank from my spare 900 SE.
JK, that's not it.
Not that guy. The other one.
The other one.
And we don't have any intercooler piping. Like Andres said in a previous clip, this is a map-based engine, so you can start it up. It'll just run really, really slow without boost. But instead of a MAF like the classic 900, you know, if a boost hose pops off, you know, the intercooler gets a crack in it, the car just straight up won't run right.
Yeah.
This car will. I've done it before where we cracked an intercooler. You could absolutely run around the track at 100 horsepower, just getting passed by Civics and Volkswagen Beetles and other nonsense. But
yeah, I mean, the thing that we want to say in this video is that this project will never run, and it will never be finished.
You're never gonna finish anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna take this engine out and put a T7 in it, right? All right, thanks for watching, guys. Next one will come up pretty soon because we are working all day every day on this project to get it done. So